Parashat 5781, chapter 13, Pasuk Aleph. In the middle of the third aliyah, we're told of the prohibition of lo tosif alav velo tigra mimenu. It's actually two prohibitions. One is not to add to the Torah, and one is not to subtract to the Torah. Rashi, on the spot here, tells us, what does it mean not to add to the Torah? He gives the following three examples. Number one, chamisha totafo b'tefillin, a gentleman who puts a fifth box, a fifth piece into his tefillin. Number two, chamisha minin b'lulav, somebody on the first day of Sukkot takes, in addition to the four parts of the lulav that we're used to, adds a fifth. And arba brachot b'berkos kohana, a kohen who gets up and after the three brachos are done, adds a fourth bracha. That's what Rashi says is the quintessential. Don't add to the Torah. Ramban, Nachmanides, commenting on the prohibition of lo tosif earlier on in Devarim, in chapter 4, says there's an additional prohibition possibility. He says that if a person decides to make his own holiday, let's say he decides to make this 25th day of Av into a certain holiday, a festival of wearing green yarmulkes, that person, and every year he would say, we have to wear a green yarmulke, that person would be in violation of the prohibition of lo tosif, according to the Rambam. Rambam, in the Hilchos Mamre, chapter 2, has a fascinating understanding of this prohibition. He says the following. We know that the rabbis sometimes have to make fences to the Torah. Sometimes they have to protect the Torah. Sometimes they even add mitzvahs to the Torah, like the mitzvah of Megillah. So the Rambam says the following. If the rabbis were to get up and say that basar b'challah, meat and milk, is no longer a prohibition in the Torah, or somehow maybe meat and milk is only a rabbinic prohibition, that he would say is a lo sigra, that is subtracting from the Torah. Then the Rambam goes on to say, let's say the rabbis get up and they say that chicken and milk is biblically forbidden, even though we know, generally speaking, it's rabbinically forbidden. The Rambam says that would be lo tosef. That would be the prohibition of adding to the Torah. However, the Rambam says something very important. If the rabbis are very clear when they give their enactment, and they say that chicken and milk is not in the Torah, and we're adding it to make a fence to protect the Torah, that is 100% permissible. So the Rambam is saying is that the rabbis can add, they can protect the Torah, but it has to be done with absolute clarity as to when and what they're adding is a rabbinic law. Interestingly, Avos the Rabbi Natan, in different versions, but in the version I have in the first chapter, says that the sin, the issue of Adam HaRishon was that when he came to teach Chava, teach Eve, about the mitzvah that Hashem gave them, not to eat from the forbidden tree in the Gan, in the garden, that Adam HaRishon added, don't even touch the tree. And according to Avos Rabbi Natan, that was exactly what slipped her up. He didn't explain it properly. He didn't say that that was my additional level of protection. He seemed to only make it that they were both from Hashem. And that led to the disaster of Eve and Chava eventually eating from the tree. What we're seeing in these interpretations of the prohibition is that unclarity on the part of the rabbis can often lead to problems. I'd like to add from some personal experiences here. I've been blessed to work at UCLA, to work with the students here in the context of OU-JLIC. And oftentimes my students are coming from throughout the world. And one of the first questions they have is when they get to the university and somebody teaches them something and say, I've never heard that. Or is it true that that is really only a rabbinic law? Or is that merely a custom? And I say to them, let's learn together. Let's open the book. Let's get in there and let's look. And they'll often say, that is amazing. Now that I see the sources, now that I understand what is Torah law, what is rabbinic law, what is a custom, I have a much deeper appreciation for what the rabbis are doing, what Hashem is telling us, and why the power of our customs. I have to say we must learn from this prohibition of the Rambam in our teaching to be absolutely clear to our students and to our family members of what level each thing is. But even more than that, the clarity not only is basic law of not adding to the Torah, it's our way to show the beauty of the insights of the sages. When they add something, a lot of times my students say, wow, I so understand why the rabbis made this prohibition. It makes such a big difference now that I'm on campus, now that I feel this in my life. Wishing everybody a great day.